Hello, hello. Thank you all for joining my channel today. Today we have Nakita Dupree. She is my incredible mentor in the Airbnb space. I wanted to bring her in so that you all could get a whiff of her greatness and how you all can also be helped by what she offers. Thank you for being here, Nakita. I'm so honored for you to be here. Like, seriously, I enjoy the fact that we have a great connection, even in your mentorship and outside of the mentorship. So let's get started.
All right, I'm excited.
Yay. So let's just go to the basics. How did you start your Airbnb journey?
So I started my Airbnb journey because I always felt within my family, I wanted to be the one to make the change in my family. So I'm like, okay, what do all wealthy people have that I can get into? And when I'm looking into wealthy people online, they all have some form of real estate, whether they're buying or doing Airbnb arbitrage or being a silent investor. And so then I started to think, okay, how can I get into real estate?
Yeah.
A lot of people think that you have to have a lot of money on the table. You have to take a lot of risks. So as I continue to educate myself, I'm like, well, I can do Airbnb arbitrage where I can bring in less money and take less risk, but still get into the real estate space. So that's initially what started my mind to turn. And then I started to stay in Airbnbs. And then when I'm staying in there, I'm walking in like, hey, I could do this. Like, they get the property, they furnish the property, they have guests. I can do this. And then I'm a nurse already, so I'm used to serving people. So I'm like, this is just a different lane of serving people.
Exactly. And I'm glad you talked about how it started by you visiting and staying in Airbnbs, because that's how I even got into the business. I stayed in your Airbnb, the Jaguar room, the Jaguar unit. And so it was during a time where a bunch of my family needed to fly in and we all wanted to be together. We ended up staying at your Jaguar unit. And as soon as I walked in, instantly my spirit leaped. Like, I can do this. This is what I should be doing. Because I felt like it was a warm hug. I felt at home. Like, this is a home away from home. And so thank you for that.
You're welcome. I'm glad you're saying that too, because I was literally just telling people, I'm looking for another way to serve for impact, but without me even knowing, because some people look at Airbnbs or it's just like families coming to vacation. But like in your situation, you wasn't coming to vacation. It was actually a sad time. And the unit that Airbnb was able to bring you and your family comfort. So Airbnb does provide impact as well.
It absolutely does. It's a definite need. And so with that being said, you started a mentorship. And so if I just go back to my story about how I stayed in your Jaguar unit, I knew then I wanted to do this. So months later, after I took some time, to think about it, I reached out to you. And I thought, okay, she's going to be like, why is this past guest reaching out to me? Like, this is weird. Maybe she's spamming me to try to sell me something. You know how that goes. But I was so pleasantly surprised you responded back.
I tell people I'm never too big to respond back. Like, I want to be that person that I didn't have when I was first starting. So if anybody messages me, they comment, I always try to comment back. I know at some point you get so many people that you start missing things, but I never want to be that individual that I'm not relatable, down to earth, that I can't just have a conversation with somebody.
And so I will go back to the Bible. You have not because you ask not. And so I asked her about being in a mentorship. And lo and behold, I didn't know it. You had a mentorship.
Yeah.
And so, from there, I was like, sign me up. How do I get started? And then so now we're here. So let me ask you, what are the things that drive you in your leadership, into your mentorship, in your community? Like, where's the heart of that?
So I will actually say when you came to me, that was actually perfect timing, because I feel like what people don't understand is no matter how high somebody get or what level they go on, we all are still human and we all have limiting beliefs. So that was a limiting belief within myself. It's like, yeah, I had multiple units, but I didn't feel like I would be able to show somebody. But it took me having my own mentor to tell me, Nakita, you're doing this, you're doing this. You're already showing other people how to do it without even having the mentorship.
Yes.
You're just talking to them, telling them what to do. You can do it.
Yeah.
So me having a mentor is the person that actually poured into me, filled my cup to let me know that you are capable enough to fill
Yes.
someone else's cup.
Yes.
So that's what started me to doing that. And it kind of go back to nursing too. We have to educate already. We have to
Yes.
educate upcoming nurses already. So it was already something that I've done before. I just didn't feel capable within myself until somebody else told me you can do this. So that's another gem. Don't try to do it by yourself. Get somebody to help you.
Yes.
And then your mentor should also have a mentor, because who's helping them? There's never a top level. There's a level after each one. So keep pouring into yourself and keep learning.
I love that, because I so advocate for mentorship. It's needed. I don't know why people come out here and just do things themselves. And don't get me wrong, because if that's where God's leading you, that's where he's leading you. But mentorship to me is the key. And so let me ask you, what's one of your biggest challenges being an Airbnb host?
I would say my biggest challenge was cleaners. And I always tell people this. It's those C's. Like with nursing, it was my CNAs, that my person that helped me, my assistant. And then in the Airbnb space, it's the other C, the cleaners. So that was my biggest thing to overcome in this business, because we're used to going to someone's job and working and being told what to do all the time. We don't have to worry about hiring, firing, or anything, or managing somebody. So when you get your own business now, all of a sudden you're new to this. So you don't know how to hire, how to fire, how to run anything. So you end up hiring the wrong person. And so for a while, I hired the wrong person. I had to fire, rehire. And then now I started to think, what are these big companies doing? Like, they have a system in place for these things. Like if someone does something wrong, then they have a chain. Okay, this is a warning. Okay, this is maybe a write-up. Okay, after this, you're out the door. So I had to start putting things in place for my cleaners to make sure that I'm getting the best person for my business, and maybe somebody that's looking at it like it's their business as well.
Mm-hmm. Setting the structure and setting the expectations. Handbook, read, and sign, please.
And knowing what questions to ask them during that hiring process, because everybody gonna make it sound good. But okay, well, next time maybe I need to ask this question, because I didn't ask that last person this question, and that was actually a question I should have asked them. And then also to piggyback off of that mindset, I had to change my mindset too.
Say it again. Sorry.
So we, as humans as well, we have a lot of limiting beliefs, and that's fine. Just like one of my limiting beliefs was I didn't believe that I could teach other people, but that's just one thing. It's so many limiting beliefs that we feel like we can't do until we just start and do it. And then when you put yourself into a position where you have no other choice, you just do it.
You just do it. I love that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So let's get into the space that you're in, Airbnb arbitrage. So why arbitrage?
So arbitrage was just the easiest way to step into real estate. I always say, like, this was me dipping my toe in the water, or tell people, like, this is the gateway into real estate, because it's just the easiest way. When you're thinking about getting into real estate, most people think they have to purchase a property. Well, if you purchase a property, that's going to be 15 to 30 year mortgage. You're going to have to bring a lot of money to the table, closing costs, down payment. It's just a lot for you to not know the real estate industry and the market. It might not be a good market for where you purchased that house at. Now you're stuck with this house. And I'm sure that person didn't think of a way to pivot into a different plan. So when I'm thinking of arbitrage, I'm like, okay, it's still a risk, don't get me wrong, but it's less money down. So my first apartment was $5,000. That's what I spent. And then it was a year lease. If I got into it, I didn't like it. After a year, I'm like, okay, Nakita, this ain't for me. I'm just about to sell the furniture, call it wrap it up. But I end up liking it. So then I continue to grow and scale. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. So what encouragement would you have for those who maybe want to get into real estate and this could be their way in, but they're kind of still unsure a little bit. Can we encourage them and kind of get them reeled in a little bit?
Definitely. So you have to start somewhere. Real estate is big. I always say this is like the perfect entrance. Even if this is not what you want to do, this is a place that you can start. You can gain your knowledge and you can start growing from here. And if this is not something that you want to do, you can end up going on a different route outside of here. Like this was never my main goal. My goal was to own property. So by me getting into Airbnb arbitrage, where I'm renting and re-renting the property, it allowed me, like I said, to build that cash flow, to build my experience, and then to start learning about other markets within real estate. So now I can use that cash flow to invest in what I'm really interested in. So you would just have to start. That's my biggest thing. I feel like people get caught in analysis paralysis.
Yes.
And it's just like, okay, I got to get more information. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're never gonna have enough information to where you're gonna feel ready with something that you've never done before. You just have to start. And then you will force yourself to, like, when a problem comes up, you're gonna figure it out. Or you're going to start getting into the rooms where individuals have the information that you're looking for. You're going to start networking with people. You're going to get a mentor. So that is my motivation to you. Just start now with what you already know and then continue to grow.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
You threw out a bunch of gems. Like, this whole segment is gemmed up. Hope you guys got what she was giving. And I just, again, want to thank you all for coming and spending time with me on my channel today. You can reach Nakita. Where can they reach you, Nakita?
You guys can reach me on Instagram at the Airbnb RN. You can reach me on Facebook at Nakita Dupree.
Thank you for that. And you guys, you can reach me on all platforms of social media, Nudes on TC. I'm on TikTok, Fanbase, Instagram, Facebook. And so you guys can reach me there. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining. Have a great one.